You are listening to the Age Like a Boss podcast, episode 13. Welcome to part 2 of my 2-part series on critical information you need to know for building muscle after age 40. Today, I want to share with you some of the common things that I see women doing that's kind of wasting their time that they're investing in resistance training, but also tell you the 5 critical moves that need to be part of your routine in order to get the most bang for your buck. Stick around. Hey everyone, welcome to the Age Like a Boss podcast. I'm your host, Jennifer Singh. Okay, so let's say that you either want to get started, you're ready, or you've already started, and you're like, yeah, this muscle building thing, it's fine, but it's not the end all be all. I'd like to tell you about a few things that I see women doing that I would encourage you to don't do these. You ready? First of all is winging it, not having a plan, and what I call gym wandering. Just kind of showing up, not really sure what you're going to do that day, and walking from machine to machine, deciding that, that machine's got a line, so I just won't do that today. I'll go do something else. So not having a plan is absolutely a great way to make you feel as if you're wasting your time and can very frequently lead to low results. Now, if walking in the gym and wandering around is your first step, it's your phase 0, it gets you in the door, awesome. I applaud you. But progress really quickly beyond that. You need a plan, and I would encourage you to focus on only a very small collection of moves at first to get the absolute most bang for your buck, for your time and effort, whatever. You know what I mean? Second thing that I see women doing is spending a lot of time working small muscles. So I think the one thing we all feel comfortable with is a bicep curl, right? So sometimes a beginner or people who are just learning, especially the cute little attractive pink dumbbells or whatever, you grab some dumbbells and you do some bicep curls. And there is absolutely nothing wrong with that as either your gateway or if you're progressed beyond the big muscle groups and you want to work your biceps, that's fine. I'm not dogging working biceps, but I am dogging working nothing but small muscle groups without first working your big muscle groups. So what I'm about to tell you is the gold. Are you ready? When it comes to building function, muscle, and strength in midlife, there are really only 5 exercises that you really need to focus on. Now, I am not talking about a physique competition. If you're a bikini builder or if you really want to carve out some intricate muscles, by all means, you may want to progress beyond this. But if your goal is maintaining muscle mass, maintaining functionality, have a smoking hot metabolism, these are the 5 moves that you really need. And I'm going to explain a little bit why. When you perform the 5 moves that I'm about to cover, you are working multiple muscle groups at one time and large muscles. Now, the reason this is fabulous is that if you're going to spend 20 minutes or 30 minutes or an hour lifting heavy things, doesn't it make sense to focus on exercises that work a lot of muscles in one move, right? So when we think about those moves, I'm focusing on your axial skeleton. So that's your spine, your up and down, and your shoulder girdle. So like your shoulders, your back, and your pelvic area. So glutes. Now, if you're like me, when I think of these, especially those lower body exercises, I kind of roll my eyes and go, I don't like those, which is one reason that we tend to gravitate to the triceps machine and the biceps machine because they feel easier and they're more fun. These muscle groups are incredibly powerful. They're stronger than you can probably imagine, and working them burns more calories, improves bone density because of the power and size of these muscles and the pull that they have on the bone, and does a whole lot more to fall-proof you and fracture-proof you. And think about that for a second. If you're just like working your biceps and your triceps and you've got really strong biceps and triceps, but you trip and fall, you don't have anything in your biceps that is keeping your mobility around your pelvis from falling, right? Or catching yourself. So focusing on these 5 moves that really encompass from your neck down to the tops of your thighs and making sure you're doing those every week, that's where the most bang for your investment is. Okay, so here are the moves. Let's start with the upper part of the body. So we want to push with our shoulders, which is commonly called a chest press or some variation of pushing. Now, there's a lot of ways to do it. You can use a machine. Yes, you can also do push-ups at home. If you can't do push-ups on the floor, you can do them on the wall. So there are a lot of ways to work that muscle group, but that's one of the main 5 moves. the push, the chest push. The second is the back pull. So lots of different ways to do this, but we want to think about pulling something like cranking a lawnmower with our back, and all of the exercises that relate to that movement are very high yield when it comes to posture, bone strength, and physical stability. The third one is the overhead press. By pressing our shoulders up over our head, imagine how many things in life you can keep doing safely and stably by making sure that you can push and work that portion of your shoulder over your head. The two main moves on the lower body are the good old squat and finally the dead lift. Now, if you focused on nothing but these 5 moves with very slight variations just to keep the muscles challenged and to keep you interested, you would honestly be good for the rest of your life. Only after you've made sure that you've worked those 5 moves every week should you then spend time progressing onto the smaller muscles. So think about this a little bit. If you move down your arm, you've got your bicep, your tricep, even your wrist. You know, there's machines at the gym where you can do this. Please don't get on the wrist until you've pressed and pulled and really strengthened yourself at your core of your body or your axial skeleton, right? And then if you move down your leg from the thigh machines, right? You can do a thigh extension, you can do a thigh curl. Those are fabulous, but they can never take the place of a squatting exercise, even if that is just your body weight sitting up and down off of a chair or off of a bench to get started. The final thing I see women doing is not progressing and not continuing to either add weight or change up their program a little bit, not really understanding how strong their muscles are. So I was kind of going through this myself in 2023 and 2024. I went through a lot of life changes, including a move and the death of a parent, my kids going off to college. And I was having trouble really being consistent getting to the gym. Now, although I have a small collection of dumbbells at home, I was kind of maxed out on what I could do with my home dumbbell collection. And I kind of went through this period of just really strength plateau. Just didn't really gain much strength and kind of lost motivation. It was literally my equipment that was limiting me. So I went ahead and invested in an adjustable dumbbell set that just exploded how heavily I could lift at home. And I have been amazed. I'm strong. I'm getting stronger all the time. So I definitely think that starting at home is incredible. But eventually, you will likely either need to be able to add a little more weight than like a 20-pound dumbbell, or get yourself to a situation like a gym or a trainer where you can add more weight. But please don't let that stop you from starting. Okay, so that was the don't do this list. Here's the do this list. Okay, so do number 1, focus on those 5 huge muscle groups, those 5 big movements that I was telling you about, realizing that each one of those has a lot of variations, right? You can use a dumbbell, you can use 2 dumbbells, you can use a bar, you can use a machine, but you need to push, you need to pull, you need to squat, you need to deadlift, which is sort of pulling with your lower body, and you need to push over your head. Only after you finish that should you then spend your precious minutes on biceps, triceps, and calves even. All of that can wait. Make sure you're getting those 5 big lifts in for maximum functioning, bone building, and fall prevention. The final thing is possibly the most important. And I know everybody's going to eye roll at this because it feels like a big obstacle and you don't want to do it. But get a consultation with a professional. At least once you can walk into any gym. In fact, if you belong to a gym, you probably already have paid for some time with some of the trainers at the gym. Maybe they just gave you a routine to do and walked you through some of the machines. All of that is great. But you can certainly go back to the professionals who are in your arena at the gym and ask them specifically, I want help learning to do these 5 lifts safely and effectively. Can you help me? I want to learn to squat. I want to learn to deadlift. I want to learn to chest press, back pull, and shoulder press effectively. Can you help me? Getting a form check is priceless. It will increase your results, decrease your chance of getting injury, and keep you from wasting your time. Like, it will just keep you from kind of doing the movement over and over wrong with a lighter weight than you really need to be using. So maybe you don't need or want to work with a trainer forever, but please get a consultation at least once or more than once, a limited time, and record it with your phone so that you can play it back and understand the correct way to do these movements. So this is one of my favorite things to talk about. I'm more than happy to answer your questions about this. In fact, if you are just getting started or don't know where to start or want some support, hop over in my free Facebook group. This is exactly the type of thing that we support each other on all the time over there. See you soon.